All right, we'll get started here. Hello, everyone, and welcome. Thank you for joining us today for this presentation on what's new in QuickFields 10. My name is Brandon Buckwich, Technical Marketing Engineer for Laserfiche, returning back for a third and final part of our Laserfiche 10 webinar series we're holding this month. Also here with us for this week, we have Tessa Adair, our expert and lead QA engineer from the QuickFields team to answer questions at the end of this webinar. So as we've been doing our last two sessions, please feel free to submit your questions through WebEx as we're going through the presentation. And at the end, we'll try to get through as many questions as we can. So we really have a lot of great highlights to showcase today. So we're very excited to share the product updates for our upcoming QuickFields 10 release. So again, the rest of the Laserfiche 10 product suite is available now. So if you're eager to get your hands on all the new features we've discussed so far over the past couple of weeks, there's really no need to wait for you to experience for yourselves all the great features we've introduced, especially considering that a lot of them have been directly inspired by feedback we've received from our community. Again, this is our third in a series of webinars that we've done on the new Laserfiche 10 product release. So to quickly recap, we went over the last two sessions. The first webinar covered new features in Web Access 10, where we saw how the look and feel of a Laserfiche Web Access has really been overhauled and reimagined to be made more streamlined for users working with their repository in their desktop and tablet and mobile type of environments. That recording is available now on our Answers site, so please check that out. Our second one, held last week, covered many new features in our overall Laserfiche 10 product suite, where we saw a lot of great enhancements and improvements to forms, workflow, mobile, Laserfiche discussions, which is formerly known as Social BPM, and the Laserfiche directory server. So we introduced a lot of powerful new functionality in that session as well. So if you want to get a highlight of what we covered there, please check out the recording. That's also available on our Answers site. So again, today's session is dedicated completely to QuickFields 10 due to the amount of really cool new features we've added, and you'll see we've made several dramatic enhancements to the QuickFields experience. All right, to give a quick overview of the major changes in QuickFields 10 that we'll be going over in this webinar, the main topics we'll be highlighting in this presentation today. We'll be going into the new components that facilitate more role-based tasks. We'll be looking into the new scanning application that's very simple and easy to use. And we'll be also diving into a very cool new capability where sessions and document classes can be shared and centrally managed from one location. So this will all be made more clear here soon as we go more through our presentation. We'll also be sharing a tour. So you'll see how we've really prioritized providing tools to ensure consistency across scanning operations, while really providing a very clean, simple, and easy to use streamlined experience. And one thing to quickly note here before we get more into the details of the new architecture and components of QuickFields, we realize that there likely will be many inquiries into the licensing topic. So right now, the nature of any potential licensing changes is being carefully reviewed currently to make sure we have the plan in place, to make sure that the transition is as easy and as seamless as possible for everyone looking to upgrade. So we appreciate everyone's patience as we work through this. And in the meantime, please feel free to share your opinions, and we'll definitely take them into consideration. All right, to help put everything in context more here, and from where we are moving forward in QuickFields 10 to where we were at previously. So those who are familiar with QuickFields 9 and earlier know that users typically fall into one or more of these kind of categories. We have some users that are more involved with designing and testing sessions. They'll be involved with determining the rules on how documents are identified, processed, and stored. Then we have other users who are more involved with scanning in new documents. Other users will be primarily responsible for reviewing those scanned documents for completeness and making any necessary edits before sending them to Laserfiche. And lastly, we may have some other users as well who are more involved on the side of configuring security based on who can access sessions and document classes. So QuickFields was first designed as if one user performed all these tasks, That user designed the session, scanned the documents, reviewed them, sent them to Laserfiche, and really required little to no security. So of course, QuickFields has definitely grown a lot since then, since it was first designed, and there have been many user requests and suggestions for more control and flexibility when working with these different roles. And we've seen that many organizations prefer to distribute these roles among different users. So we've definitely taken this into consideration, and we're excited to now have QuickFields 10 essentially switching from a design that is based on one do-it-all super user to now allow more of individual role-based users, which is one of the primary motivations behind the changes in QuickFields 10. All right, so let's take a look at the QuickFields 10 architecture here to give you more perspective at a higher level how all the new components of QuickFields can work together and provide our users with an overall more streamlined experience while helping ensure consistency across scanning operations. All right, so of course we still have the original QuickFields application we are all familiar with, but now more users will be able to take advantage of the power of QuickFields with some brand new components here. So after you've built your session in QuickFields using the same processes you're already used to, you will now be able to publish it to the brand new QuickFields server, where it will be available to other users. So from there, users with appropriate rights can choose from the sessions on the server and load them into the brand new QuickFields scanning application, which is especially useful for our scanning operators. This tool will allow these users to focus really on their scanning responsibilities rather than being concerned with the configuration of sessions and document classes. And behind the scenes from all this, we have the administrator who can take advantage of the brand new QuickFields administration console to define the role of users and manage sessions and document classes the users have access to through the QuickFields server. So main highlight here is definitely this new architecture centered around the QuickFields server. So shared sessions on the server means that you no longer have to manually transfer the session file to each computer where it will be used, or keep it on a shared drive where accidental changes can be risky. So instead, now you can just publish the session to the server, and then all your scanner operators can use the same exact session without necessarily without making edits to it. So we'll discuss this more as we move forward in this presentation. All right, so from here, let's move away from our slides and just jump right into our QuickFields 10 tour. And we'll start by taking an up-close look at how a scanner operator can enjoy an easy-to-use and streamlined experience using a new QuickFields scanning application made just for our scanning operators. So again, one of our primary goals as we were developing QuickFields 10 was to provide a robust solution to ensure consistency across an organization's scanner operators. So this tool is one of the main ways that we achieve this. We're very excited to introduce to our users. So jumping right into the new tool, QuickFields Scanning. I just want to point out several highlights here to begin the tour. So as soon as a scanner operator opens up QuickFields Scanning, their first task is to choose a session based on which documents they need to scan. So QuickFields Scanning shows us all the available sessions in one unified list here. And this list of sessions displayed to the user can be configured to show only the sessions relevant to this particular user through our administration console, and we'll be discussing this later on. So here in this opening view, we can also see our most recent sessions. We can see what documents have yet to be stored from a previous session. And we can also load a workspace, which is a feature I'll review here very soon. All right, so let's open up one of our sessions for now. So everything is blank for now since, of course, we haven't scanned anything in yet, but you'll immediately notice that we have a very simple, very clean, sleek interface here. It's been designed to have features that are immediately relevant just for the scanner operator, and we'll show how intuitive and easy it is to navigate through as well. All right, so acting as a scanner operator now, we won't be concerned with any configuration since our session designer has already taken care of that for us. we actually don't have the option to configure our sessions through the scanning application either. So our responsibility here will be to process documents, ensure that those documents and their metadata pass our quality checks, and then store the documents to Laserfiche. So at this point, let's go ahead and scan some documents in now, since our first priority here as a scanner operator is to get the documents into the application, of course, so we can begin working with them. All right, so as our documents are scanning in, to explain a few things here, if you're familiar with previous QuickFields versions, you'll see that the overall view here is actually relatively similar to your previous layout. So there really will be minimal training involved to have your scanner operators get used to this kind of application. And you could think of this as a lightweight QuickFields tool that looks a lot cleaner and simpler, where we've introduced several important and highly requested enhancements from our users to specifically make our scanning operators' lives easier. So you can see here our default layout is split into several panes. We have the document list on the left. We have a central view here in the middle, which is particularly unique to QuickFields, and we'll go into that in a little more detail. We have the usual metadata pane on the right, and the messages pane down on the bottom. So now that our documents have finished scanning, let's highlight a few features of these further. All right, so the left pane here, where the documents have populated, is called the document list pane. And in this particular example, we've scanned in a batch of documents that includes 3 document types. And this pane is designed for very easy navigation through our batch of documents, and the documents appear in the order that they have been scanned in. We have a very easy to read and clean format here, where each document in this pane will show a summary of its important information, including the document name, the assigned document class, and how many pages the document has as well. So in this example session for a registrar's office, we scanned in 3 types of documents, so each document here should be identified as one of our 3 different document classes. Again, for those that are familiar with previous versions, to navigate through our documents, previously we only see the document name and folder path. So here, not only can we note not only does this look a lot cleaner here, but we also see more relevant information provided to us. For easier viewing of larger batches as well, we've added the option to compact our list like so. Each document here also has an overflow button that has a list of other actions that can be performed on the document as a whole. For example, assigning the document class, or deleting the document, or we can just right-click as well to access the same actions, making it easy and convenient to quickly perform the action you're looking for. Okay, clicking around on these documents as well, you can see it allows us to jump straight to the associated document in our view here in the middle. So this view here in the center is a really, really cool feature we've implemented, and it's actually unique to QuickFields 10. So here we will be able to see our scanned in batch of documents as thumbnails, so we can conveniently see our whole batch of documents at once, rather than just one document at a time, as we had to do in previous QuickFields versions. In this view, we can also open up a single document to view the images for each page as well. All right, so let's return back to our thumbnails view. All right, so our main concern as scanner operators is ensuring that all the documents were processed correctly. And in previous versions of QuickFields, even with the session that is fairly robust, the scanner operator may still need to click through every document that was scanned in to double check for any potential issues. One of the main advantages of this view now is that it will allow us to see more at a glance and quickly find issues that may be easily spotted, especially identifying any pages that were sorted incorrectly or were captured in the wrong orientation. So this definitely helps scanner operators save time by allowing them to quickly find any documents that need revisions, rather than needing to open up every single document. We also have this really cool ability here to move pages between documents as well through drag and drop. As so, I'll drag it back. So it's very cool. It's very convenient and perfect for situations where we need to rearrange pages that happen to end up being included with the wrong type of document. So at this point, you may have noticed we have a couple of unidentified documents clearly marked with the red text unidentified in our document list pane. So this means that these documents failed the identification conditions of all the document classes assigned to the scan session. So we've included these because we want to show you how we've made it easier to work with your newly scanned documents, even in those cases where your scanned documents don't exactly match what your quick field session expected. All right, so let's take a look at these unidentified documents. And at first glance here, it looks like it was scanned in with the wrong orientation. So if we want to take a closer look, we can right-click to bring us our context menu to open up the page from here, or we can select this icon from the toolbar up top, or we can just double-click. All right, so we can confirm here that the document has been scanned upside down. So let's go ahead and orient it in the right direction. So I'll double-click the rotate icon in our toolbar, and we'll note that this is the consent to release student information form. Okay, so let's return back to our thumbnails view, and we'll note that we have another unidentified document, and it looks very similar to the other unidentified document as well. So let's double-check it, and let's open it up and double-check the document. And we'll confirm that it is the same consent release to student information form. So we'll go back to the thumbnails view, and we can rotate it from here as well. So I can right-click it as well to rotate the document, or rotate it from here. So should the pages of a document need any reformatting, for example, again, rotating or splitting, this is where the actions can be performed conveniently, easily straight from here, or of course from the document view as well. So now that we set these in the proper orientation, let's identify these documents now within Laserfiche. So within Quick Fields. To do this, I'll show you a really cool way to accomplish this now. So by popular demand as a feature that has been widely requested, we're glad to introduce the ability to now perform bulk actions on multiple documents at once. So I can select both of these unidentified documents holding the control button in the document list pane, and I want to assign the appropriate document class consent to release student information document class to be run on these two documents. So I'll click the Overflow tab, and I can assign the document class for both of these documents. I'll click the appropriate document class, and I'll select OK. So we can see now that their names have been updated in the document list pane, and if we want to click, on one of the documents as we have here, we can see the metadata has also been updated. So note that when we multi-select documents, of course, not only can we assign document classes, but we can also delete and store the document as well, and even make changes to metadata as well for documents of the same class. All right, so still continuing our check on our scanned batch of documents. We can notice something else wrong here with another document. Although this document here doesn't actually give any errors, it does, unlike any other documents, have 4 pages, which as a scanner operator, let's say we know beforehand the document should only have 1 to 2 pages max. So once again, this thumbnails view provides a great advantage to identify these kinds of issues. In the original Quick Fields applications, this particular issue would be one that would be maybe particularly more difficult to identify since we had to manually click through all the documents and examine the number of pages. All right, so let's see what happened here in this document to end up with 4 pages. So this first page here is a diploma request form and has been submitted by Mark Frame. Continue on to the second page. It looks like the check that belongs to Mark Frame as well. If we look at the third page now, we'll see that this is a diploma order form received from Marissa King, and we'll notice that the heading is different than the first page, so it didn't pass the zone OCR used for identification set by the session designer. But as a scanner operator, we realized this was an older version of the diploma request form and is the same document class type, so we'll split this document up. I'll go ahead and split it up in our thumbnail view. So I'll split it here. All right, so now that we have split this document, we're still not exactly done in processing this document further. The right document class is assigned to it, but the document name is still not updated as well as its metadata. So at this point, we need to tell QuickFields we're finished moving the pages around and we're ready to reprocess the document and try again and capture its information. Previous QuickFields versions, we had to go through our document class list and reassign the document class even if it was the same document class. QuickFields 10 in the scanning application, we made this easier by just applying the new capability here called reprocess. So we can access it here, and we'll reprocess the document associated with this particular document class. And we'll see that everything now has been captured and updated correctly. So this is particularly convenient for these type of situations where we've rearranged pages and need to make sure information is captured appropriately, or say we change the metadata values as well, but we need to revert back to the default values. Okay, so now we discuss the document list pane, the central view here in the middle. I'll now quickly explain the messages pane here down on the bottom. All right, so for more advanced scanners who may be more familiar with what the session involves in the back end, we also have a messages pane to get details of the process and any errors associated with the particular document. So these messages are organized by document, and you can also conveniently filter here as necessary to narrow down your errors, your warnings, or just to check your general information. So this can be used as a great diagnostic tool as we run our scanning sessions and want to investigate a potential error further. And as a scanning operator, if we couldn't figure out the issue, we can easily export this message log for us as well. And we can send this over to our session designer or administrator to review the message log and make the appropriate change. And the way we could export this is by coming to this corner right here and selecting that arrow. All right, so transitioning to the last feature we'll be discussing in QuickFields scanning. Since your average scanner may not typically require the messages pane here, this can be easily configured to have this removed. And of course, this whole view here is actually all easily adjusted by going to the View tab up top. So unclicking the messages pane here will remove messages. And while we're here, you'll see that we also have a couple of panes here that are grayed out. So if we click to open one of these documents, we'll see that these now are accessible and we can adjust this view as necessary. Or if we want to quickly go back to our our default layout, we can easily reset our layout as well. So say as a scanning operator, we don't want to constantly be adjusting our layout here every time we open up this application. So while we mentioned we designed the QuickFields scanning application to help ensure consistency across scanning operators and prevent changes to the session, users with this application do have some flexibility and options to configure and save certain settings here, such as their layout, using the feature called a workspace. So again, say for example, this messages pane isn't something I would normally refer to and don't want to keep unchecking every time I open this up. So what we can do here is create our own workspace. We'll uncheck the messages pane. And we've saved this preference setting while not impacting anything for other users and their sessions. And we also notice that we will not be doing anything. We won't be doing anything with how the session is actually configured as well. So the way we can save our workspace, we go to the upper right-hand corner, and selecting this icon here, and we'll be able to save our workspace. So we can actually also save a new workspace from scratch by going to File, going to New. And here we can configure the basics of where we want to scan our documents from as well. So we can choose what scanner to scan from, computer, or of course Laserfiche as well. All right, so at this point, we're ready to store the documents in the document list. We finished our check, and we'll go to the top ribbon here, and we'll store all our documents. So really, our scanning application is as easy as that, and that will complete our tour on the scanning application. So return back to our slides here to provide a quick recap on what we covered in this tour. All right, to quickly summarize the main points here to review what we showcased. Right away, we saw the sleek, modern look and feel of the scanning application. All the necessary features for a scanning operator are intuitive and conveniently right in front of the user. And through the document list pane, we saw it's a very easy to read format. We can easily see what documents have been identified. And again, we're very excited to provide the widely requested capability of multi-selecting documents to perform bulk actions. We also highlighted the Pages view, which is our central view, allowing us to quickly glance through our scanned batch for any errors and easily make any formatting changes and reprocess our documents directly from there as well. And finally, if the scanner operator wanted to configure their layout view or choose how they scan in documents, it can easily be accomplished by setting up a workspace without affecting other user sessions. Okay, so at this point, we'll be diving into another really huge part of QuickFields 10. So if there are any other questions you're curious about scanning, please feel free to continue submitting them, and we'll address what we can at the end. All right, so transitioning to a focus on another major change, we'll discuss more on our QuickFields server and administration console. All right, so those familiar with previous QuickFields versions know that if we wanted to push a session to our scanner operators, this would usually mean manually going to each scan station and manually transferring over the standalone files. And from there could still be potential issues where maybe a user changes the session configurations, or we could end up forgetting to update one, so we could be running the risk here of possibly ending up with inconsistent sessions across the organization. So to address these type of challenges, returning back to the slide we showed at the beginning, we developed this new architecture where we can take advantage of a centralized QuickFields server, which is managed by the brand new QuickFields administration console. So by using sessions on the server instead of individual files that need to be moved around or updated separately as accomplished in previous versions, means that edits to the sessions are automatically, conveniently pushed to all scanner operators that we want. So again, this new QuickFields server is a really powerful, great way to promote consistency across different scanners and scan stations by providing a central place to store sessions, document classes, and manage security as well. So again, this is all facilitated through using the new QuickFields administration console. It's a web-based tool and acts as our window to our server. So at this point, let's take a tour on the brand new administration console and show this more in action here. Okay, so again, right away you can note a very sleek, simple, streamlined system interface. We have 3 tabs here on the ribbon we can choose from. We have sessions, we have document classes, users, and groups. I'll go into these more in detail here in a little bit. So currently we are in our sessions tab, which will allow us to view a list of all sessions published on the server. Selecting one session here, we can access key information about it in our details pane on the right. So here in the overview tab, we can see basic information for when the session was created, when it was modified. If we go to the document classes tab, we can see what document classes are associated with this particular session. If we go to the access rights tab, You can see what users also have access to this particular session as well. So if you recall, when our scanner operator first opened up Quick Field Scanning, they were presented with a view of available sessions. These access rights that are set here allow you to control which sessions can be viewed by which scanner operators. All right, we can also see that the admin console keeps track of versions of our sessions as well, in case we need to revert back to a previous session. Basically, a new version is created when we publish a new change in our main Quick Fields application. So you can see it's very easy to navigate through. Everything is conveniently here right in front of us. And importantly, again, with the centralized control, we can help enforce consistency across our scanner operator sessions. So now we looked at our sessions view here. Let's go up to ribbon again and take a quick look into document classes tab and show what we can do there as well. So going to document classes view now, you can see it's the same kind of streamlined layout. In the overview, if we select one of the document classes here, you can see in the overview tab, we can access again some key information about the document name and the folder. And we can also click on a sample page down on the bottom here to get more of a visual picture to remind us what the document actually looks like. Here we can, if we go to our Sessions tab, we can see what session this document class is associated with. And again, we can manage our access rights and see we have access to our versions as well. All right, so moving on to the last tab on top, users and groups. This is where we can configure our security. So in addition to managing session-specific document class specific access rights that we saw in the previous two tabs, we can also configure privileges for what users need specifically for their particular role. And here we can see as well what sessions we can assign this particular user to and document classes. Okay, so the last feature we'll be showcasing through the administration console is a particularly significant feature that really adds a lot of adaptability when we're configuring our sessions. Document classes can now be moved around independently of their sessions. So to demonstrate this, I'll go back to my Sessions tab. Okay, so imagine you have two sessions for scanning in our registrar documents. One is for scanning documents from our scan station, and one is for scanning in from a desktop scanner. So in this case, we have two sets of scan settings that we need because documents are captured slightly differently, but we still want the actual documents to remain the same. In previous versions of Quick Fields, in order for your scanner operators to see the changes made by a session, again, that would require a lot of manual copying the session to every scanner station that would be using it. So of course, this can be a very tedious process when you're working with multiple scan stations. So here in Quick Fields 10, we enabled this really cool ability to link the same exact document class to multiple sessions, which means an edit made in the document class would automatically apply to all other sessions that use the same document class. So all we need to do is add what document classes we want to link here in the session that we want. So let's go ahead and add document in this desktop scanning session now. So we have a document shared in these two sections. So I'll go to document classes, and I'll add the document class that I want. So let's say I want to add the diploma order document class, and I'll create the link. And we'll see that's immediately populated in our document class list here. So note that what we're doing here is we're not creating a copy of the document class in our new session. We've actually just linked the existing document class. And the advantage of this is that when we make changes to the document class, we only have to make the change in one place for all sessions using this document class to be updated accordingly. All right, so to demonstrate this out further, if you recall when we scanned in our documents with the scanning application, we had the issue where one of our documents had too many pages when all our other documents had 1 to 2. So let's say we are now acting as a session designer and our scanner operator told us about the issue, so we wanted to place an improvement into our session. to target this issue and have it be updated on the sessions where this document class is in. So at this point, we'll be leaving the administration console and show the publishing process, how the publishing process will work. So we'll be going into the original QuickFields application now. I already have this up. And we'll select the document class that the scanner operator told us where the issue occurred. And this is the diploma order request. This is also the one that we linked in 2 sessions now. So you can see that, note this is, since this is a shared document class, it doesn't matter which session I open up this document class in. In Administration Console, we link these 2 sessions, so making a change in either one will be applied to both sessions. So here we'll make a quick improvement, which will limit the number of pages to 2 pages. So really that's all we'll be doing for the purposes of this presentation here, but keep in mind that we could really make any configuration change to the session and document classes that we really wanted to, such as changing the identification identification conditions further, adding image enhancements, adding image enhancement processes, changing templates, and so on. All right, so now in order to push this update to the server for use in the QuickFields scanning, we will need to publish this session. So we'll go to File, and we will go to Publish. So here we will get the publishing dialog, which shows us our session and the document classes we're publishing. It also offers the option to only publish your changes to specific document classes, rather than everything at once. So if we're not ready to publish everything. But in our example here, we might as well just publish everything. So we'll leave everything with the default values and select Publish. So really done a couple things just now to just quickly do a recap. Firstly, we've shown how to publish a session to the server once you're ready for it to be used by scanner operators. Also, since we published a change to that diploma request document class that we linked earlier, we've not only updated the document class in this session, but our changes have also been applied to other sessions using this document class. So this is really where the power of a new QuickFields server comes in. And again, it's a single location where a session designer can make updates to sessions and document classes. So through QuickFields scanning, the scanner operator can immediately pull the most recent version of the sessions and document classes. This makes creating and updating sessions for multiple scan stations much easier, so no more manually having to update all
Testing. 1, 2, 3. Testing, testing. Sorry, everybody. We're having a little bit of audio issues here. We'll be back with you in just a minute. Thank you so much for your patience.
Okay, apologize about the delay there. Ran into a couple of audio issues, but I think we are back in session now. So just to, I'm not sure where we last left off, but to just quickly recap, we just concluded our tour on the administration console. We went back into QuickFields to show how we can publish to the server. So that will actually conclude our tour on the QuickFields 10 applications. So we'll be returning back to our slides here, and we'll be wrapping everything up. So just to quickly summarize everything here, we talked about the new QuickFields architecture and motivation behind it, which was that users needed QuickFields to be more flexible and individualized instead of an all-in-one application. We also took a tour on QuickFields scanning, which is our intuitive and simple tool for scanner operators to really focus more on primary scanning responsibilities without impacting other user sessions configurations. We also took a tour into the administration console, showcasing the benefits of the new server architecture, which provides role-based security and allow management of shared document classes and sessions in the administration console. I do want to emphasize here, if your organization does not rely on different users performing different roles in QuickFields, you can continue to use QuickFields as you've always done, or add the new QuickFields server for centralized session storage. So you can take advantage of the new components really at your own pace and when you're ready. All right, so this will wrap up the presentation for QuickFields 10. Really hope everyone's enjoyed this overview on what you have to look forward to with this release available in the next couple months here. Again, Laserfiche 10 is already released back in Empower in January. QuickFields 10 will be released with our Service Pack 1 release here in the next couple months. The past 2 sessions we held this month on Laserfiche 10, those recordings and question and answer sheets are available on our Laserfiche Answers site. And of course, for any questions that we can't get to at the end of this presentation today, please feel free to continue asking questions on our Laserfiche Answers site. And with that, I'll conclude the presentation here, and I'll pass it over to Tessa. Thanks again, everyone, for your attention and participation in this webinar, and look forward to working more with the community further.
All right. Hi, everybody. This is Tessa. So I'm going to go ahead and start going through some of you guys' questions here. We'll get through as much as we have time for. So let's go ahead and start. So one question we had was about, so in QuickFields scanning, we showed the process of splitting a document and working with those pages in that view, that center view where we see all the thumbnails for our batch. So we got a question about how merging documents would work there. So in that case, it would work very similarly. As Brendan briefly showed, we've got the ability to just simply drag and drop the pages around, so you would be able to merge documents however you needed, and then just rerun the processes or run the document class processing on that, and that would work however has been configured. Let's see. So we've got another question was about whether sessions can be assigned to specific operators. So if you want to assign a session to be only used by one particular operator or a set of particular operators, that's where you would use access rights, which are available through the admin console on the QuickField server. So you give only those specific operators who need to use that session access rights to it. Another quick question about the server. We had a question about, does it create another SQL Server database? And yes, the QuickField server uses a SQL Server database. Got a question here about publishing. So the question is, if you publish an update, does it go into effect immediately, or does it kick in the next time the scanner logs on and chooses that session? So actually, it goes into effect pretty much right away. So the idea here is that you publish an update to a session or a document class, and then of course you've got your scan stations, you've got your scanner operators working. Your scanner operators don't even need to restart or re-log in for them to get that update. That update will kick in the next time they click scan, and if they're in the middle of a batch, they have the choice to say whether or not, go ahead and pull those updates, get the most recent one, or just finish up what I'm doing before I use the next one. But those changes will go into effect even if they're currently working with the application. So that's really awesome. There won't be any delay or any manual intervention there between publishing an update and having it used by your scanner operators. All right. So another question about the server. So the question, is this cloud-based? So no, this is a on-premises system. So we've got a couple questions here about the licensing, and a lot of you, have been talking about whether or not this big change in architecture is going to lead to a change in licensing. That's definitely something that we are considering given these changes. However, the nature of these changes is still undecided. So we're taking our time to make sure we come up with a plan to make the transition as easy as possible. So sorry I don't have an answer for you on that one right now, but we're actively working on it, and feel free to share your opinions on that, and we'll take them into consideration. So I had one question about QuickField's agent. So yeah, we didn't go too much into QuickField's agent in this quick webinar. And that's mostly because QuickField's agent, you're going to keep using it pretty much the exact same way that you're used to using QuickField's agent. So QuickField's agent is definitely still available and will work exactly as you are currently using it now. All right, so I think that's all the time we have for questions here. I think we're going to go ahead and wrap up now. Of course, we'll be able to answer all the rest of your questions that we didn't get to. We'll post those answers after the webinar, as well as the recording and anything else that you guys might want to see. So I'm going to go ahead and pass it over to Brandon just to wrap up.
All right, thanks a lot, Tessa. We have one more bonus slide for everyone here. We did mention that QuickFields 10 will be released with Service Pack 1, so we wanted to mention, give you guys a sneak peek at what else we have coming up in the pipeline here, along with Service Pack 1. So to quickly summarize what we have coming up. So for the business process library, this is our pre-built business process templates that will help minimize initial development effort and how you can use to tailor to fit your organization's specific business process needs. We'll have a first batch of this available with Service Pack 1. So definitely look forward to that. We also have the Forms Performance Dashboard. So the original release of Laserfiche 10 introduced the operational dashboard, which allows process administrators to see what's going on with the current processes. This upcoming performance dashboard allows you to view health and status of a process historically, allowing you to help identify bottlenecks further or address issues to the overall process performance. Offline forms in mobile is a very big one coming up. It allows you to download a form locally to your tablet or mobile device, and you can fill them out without requiring an active connection to the form server. You can really fill out as many as you need and then upload them back to the form server when you're back online. The last one, just quickly highlight here, Web Access is adding the ability to view PDFs in their native format directly in the document viewer and preview pane. We are also adding the ability to preview documents on import for both Laserfiche image documents and PDFs. All right, so that will be our sneak peek here. Again, appreciate everyone's attention and attendance in this webinar today. Apologize for the technical difficulties we encountered in the presentation. But if you have any other questions, please feel free to submit them through Laserfiche Answers. And then that will be our presentation today. Thanks again, and look forward to receiving more feedback on our products and working with everyone here further. Thank you.